Okay, for those of you guys who don't know, Hammertime is basically where you submit educational content in my Discord, and I basically tell you whether it's a load of horse manure or not. Okay, so somebody submitted my own content from way back in the day. That one hurts. Let's see here. What do we got here? Honestly, we did 10 reasons your aim sucks. We did we almost voted on don't counterpick as soon as you die, and that one people were mad that that one wasn't picked. So maybe we'll do that one. These are all a little bit outdated, so I will wait. That one looks really short. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this, and if you guys have any other questions, in the meantime, I can answer questions. Or actually, screw it. If you guys have any questions, just throw them in Ask Spilo. That way we can kind of catalog everything. Creepy last night was rough. I had this May player and Ike. Sad times. Yeah, you can delete yours. I mean, what? Wait, what? Why would I bother deleting yours? You delete it. Don't make. Not your slave. All right. Okay. Last time we did this, I tried to like read a little slower, not like speed run everything, but try and get the big concepts. So I'm gonna kind of skim it a little bit, but give you the TLDR. So this post on Reddit over Overwatch University is basically don't counterpick as soon as you die to a tracer. Okay. Interesting title. Let's see what we got here. This is, keep in mind, this was 2 months ago. So I'm a tracer main, and I notice people counterpicking immediately after I kill them. To be fair, sometimes it makes sense, but sometimes they don't because I had to blow all my blinks and recalls and waste a lot of time to get that kill. If they continue playing that character instead of counterpicking immediately, they might have a far more chance of victory than picking a character they're not good at, which I can eat alive. Okay, so, you know, good point. Basically, he's saying, or she's saying, you know, if you counterpick instantly, you might not be as good at that hero, and also, me killing you doesn't always mean that, you know, you're getting countered, right? In other words, I might be playing ball, and I might kill you in hog, but it might be just that my on landed a nade, or, you know, your positioning was bad, or like I landed a really good boop, and you know, like there's a lot of things that can go wrong to where, you know, the counter picking doesn't make it. It was just one person played better or one team played better or something, you know, unlucky happened, right? So, you know, this makes sense. Yes, I was playing against this super good Genji and Havana attack. I wiped his entire team from backline, yet my entire team got wiped by enemy Genji. And we had our first duel. I underestimated him and didn't expect him to use respect enough to use recall when I was at 40% of my health, and he got the kill. The next team fight, I went straight for the Genji, and while we were dueling, my team Zarya killed him. All good so far. And then we have our third fight by ourselves, and none of our teammates near. It was an intense duel that went almost 40 to 50 seconds. That sounds like a misplay from either team, because nobody should have a solo duel for 40 to 50 seconds without somebody coming to help to clean up the fight, but whatever. I killed him by blowing all my blinks and recall. I won the duel, but I wasted almost a minute with the Genji. I mean, it sounds like he wasted his time too without having my team. After I killed him, I went back and helped my team wipe the enemy team. We got the second point. After losing to me, he immediately went Widowmaker. Okay, I don't think this is him trying to counterpick, though. I don't think Widowmaker... Does anybody think that Widowmaker is a counterpick to Tracer? Like... Tracer doesn't always counter Widow, but Widow is just a point-specific pick. Like, Tracer does much better. I would significantly prefer to play Widow or Genji into Tracer than Widow into Tracer. What does this mean? This is the worst mistake he could have made because he was not as good. So with the Genji, I killed him immediately. Well, big surprise there. Without him, the enemy team was super easy to kill. And once I killed his Widowmaker, he went Pharah, and we won by the time he came to payload. Okay, again, I don't feel like, oh, I died as Widow. I'm going to go Pharah, because Pharah counters Tracer. Like, again, Pharah, Tracer is just, like, negligible. Again, Tracer is actually decent into Pharah because she can harass Mercy a lot, or you can bypass, you know, Mercy and harass backline, which makes the Mercy leave the Pharah. So, yeah, indirectly, Tracer can almost counter Pharah. So, interesting. I mean, his point is made of, like, you know, you swapping around to counter me. If maybe his point should have been, you know, Genji to McCree. That would have been made more sense. But... for sure, I agree with this so far. Okay, that's just one example. Something like this happens almost every match. Not that I encounter a Genji like every match, but even sometimes to give me some sort of trouble is better than the counterpick I completely run through. Like almost every match I encounter an Honor Zen who counterpick immediately to Brig as soon as I kill them, and more often than not, they're not a good Brig, making my game much easier. Well, also you have to understand is like, for example, if I were running a Zen Mercy backline and you were playing Tracer, am I going to struggle against Tracer? As a Zen Mercy backline, are you going to struggle against Tracer? Honest question for chat. If you're playing Zen Mercy, are you going to struggle against Tracer? Yes or no? Kinda. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you are. Yes. Tracer does well against Zen Mercy. But if you're playing in GM or Masters or whatever, and you're like, oh, we're playing Zen Mercy. Oh, they're playing Tracer. I can't play Zen. I have to play Brig. You're gonna be laughed all the way, laughed all the way home. Yes, it's hard, but Zen Mercy is good right now. Those are good heroes. So yes, it's going to be hard, but that doesn't mean that you don't play it, right? You can go Brig Mercy, but guess what? Your tank's gonna have 0 sustain. You're gonna have no discord, and you're gonna have a, you're not gonna have anything for their flex. So you see how you're saying, like, it's not even a question of player skill. Sometimes counterpicking makes you create or play bad comps or bad heroes. For example, they're playing Tracer, guys. We need to go Torb, Brig, whatever. And meanwhile, then they just go Echo and they curb stomp you because that comp isn't very good, at least anymore. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like plat and gold and silver and diamond, and compositional and hero strengths aren't as important. But still, even then, like fundamentally, Zen Mercy is better than Brig Mercy. It's just better, unless you have a really good Brig and a really good Mercy, or somebody that doesn't play Zen. Zen Mercy is just better. So if you're not playing Zen Mercy because you're scared of Tracer, then you need to get good. You need to figure out how to play around that better, because you're going to be putting yourself at a disadvantage just because you're incompetent or unwilling to adjust your playstyle or learn how to adapt. It's the equivalent of like you're trying to work out to get better, but every single time you do a squat, your knees hurt, right? Knees hurting is not good. But does that mean that you just quit working out? Well, I'm not quit working out. I'm going to be taking walks. I'm not going to do any running or jogging or lifting or lunging or any sort of leg work. I'm just going to walk because that doesn't hurt my knees. I mean, for some people with serious knee pain, maybe but for most of us, that's something that we want to avoid. We don't just want to compromise everything because there's a little bit of frustration or discomfort or difficulty, right? You end up making really bad decisions, trying to avoid a bad consequence. So I agree with the whole situation that it's not just it forces you to play heroes you might be comfortable with, it also might force you to play a composition that's not good. For example, oh, the Tracer Ball are killing us. Let's go Moira Brig. Good luck winning with Moira Brig. Okay. They're good Brig making my games much easier, whereas if they were on a Zen, they were giving me trouble with sleep darts and aids or discord. It's a wasted recall, takes me out of the fight for a bit. Sure, like if you play properly, you can definitely counterplay around a Tracer. This does not say don't counterpick at all. If you think you can do better as another hero, sure, go ahead, but don't pick McCreary once they're big if you're not good with them as soon as I kill you. Right. So the concept and something that IOSX talks a lot about, and I agree with him, is like if you want a hero pool that gives you options, right? You want to be able to play Ana and Zen, and maybe Moira or Brig or something like something that I like these heroes. I'm good at these heroes, and I can always pick the best hero in any given situation. I'm not forced to flex and fill into a bad pick. Maybe you have a Brig one trick. Okay, well I'm gonna go Ana because we have a monkey. You have a Brig one trick and a monkey one trick. Maybe you don't want to play Zen with that. Maybe you want to play Ana. Well, good. I can play Ana, so that's the best pick. So if you're counter picking, you're always counter picking with what's a good hero and what heroes that you like to play or are good to play. Those are the limits. If somebody says, "Hey, can you swap the Lucio?" And you're like, "I don't play Lucio. I don't think Lucio would be good." Don't do it. Either adjust to one of the picks that you think might fit better, or just get good and figure out a way to do it better. If you're gonna counterpick, the only recommend is Torb. Yeah, Torb against the Tracer is pretty rough. It's really, really annoying. Constantly being poked at by turret is frustrating. He doesn't hard count Tracer by any means, but he's very annoying. Okay. I think I'm gonna give this a beefed, and the reason I'm gonna give this a beefed. Oh, I gotta get my hammer, ladies and gentlemen, my Torb hammer. Hammer time. Beefed. Because even though I don't think this person nailed all the details, they're just a player, right? This is just a player's opinion and a player's POV. And I think for the most part, it's very accurate. And it nails a lot of the points that I think a lot of us should be thinking more about. So I highly respect this opinion. And I think that this is something that you guys would all benefit from thinking in your games. Like, okay, what's going to, what am I good at? What's going to be good here? What's KBZ, OW things for fall? And then what's a good setup, right? Don't just force yourself into a pick because it quote unquote counters the other hero. Do you know why? Do you know how it counters the other hero? If you don't, then don't play it. Right? You're gonna be smashing your head up against the wall and get nothing about it.